What is going on, everybody? I'm Willie. Alongside me is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
Good, you?
Pretty good, man. We are going to talk a little bit about playoffs. Have you ever heard the word playoffs?
Yeah, it's also called heartburn when you're trying to do a bracket.
Well, down here, we're kind of used to brackets because we got the March Madness. Uh, that is bracket city. We call it March.
Mm,
We call it March Madness. Uh,
yep.
but you have 64 teams, and you try and go down to one. NASCAR, you got 16 teams going down to one.
Yep.
It's a little bit harder, but it's challenging to watch, see how it unfolds. I want to get your opinion on it, and you're going to get my opinion on it. We're going to break it down round by round to get down to the champion, and we're going to break it down where why are we going to pick this person moving on to the next round and stuff. Uh, we also have the playoff grid challenge that I'm going to share a link. I'm going to pin it to the top. It basically what the challenge, the playoff grid challenge is. You're picking round by round. What we're going to do tonight is going to prick it all the way down to the champion. There, if you don't have a good round of 12, guess what? You get a chance to redeem yourself in round of 8. So that's going to be neat to see everybody's brackets each round by round. Also announced this week we're going to do maybe an NFL pick'em, NFL and college football pick'em. I released that out. I'm gonna pin that to the top of the page for people to join. I can tell you now, if we get a lot of people that does this playoff grid, and I'd say if we have 10 guys to do it, I'm gonna give out a prize. We'll give out a prize with 10 guys to do it. We get some participation to do it. So uh, we'll go ahead and dive into. Go ahead,
How about we do this? If we get
do it.
10 guys to do it, you will get a die cast of the champion 2021 champions card.
Oof, I like it. I like it. I
You
like that.
win, you get the champions die cast for this year.
I like it. Yes. So the winner of the playoff grid gets of the Mid South Sports Report gets the champions diecast. Champions diecast. I like it. I like it. We'll do that. Champions diecast. Man, that's gonna be pretty cool. The winning scheme.
Yeah, whoever, like if it's, but whoever the champion is, they always do a championship die cast for 2021 of that car, and that's
Yep.
what we'll give you.
Right. All right. That will work for me. Um. Let's see.
Uh-oh, we might have lost Willie. Oh, you still got him back.
You got me.
Yeah, I got you. We're good to go.
All right. Um. We're gonna dive into Daytona.
Mm-hmm.
Um. That was interesting, to say the least. I say that it was aggressive from the start. I've never seen a start of a Daytona like that.
Yeah.
They was, and I don't understand why it was so aggressive because you only had 2 guys that could point their way in, and it was 2 RCR teammates.
Well, I think the reason it was that aggressive is because I suspect that the changes they made to the package forced their hand, because every time NASCAR has decreased the horsepower, and we went from, I think it was about 515, and they brought it down all the way to 450. And the cars were only doing about 189, 190, 191. So we slowed them down 10 miles an hour. But every time they've taken that much horsepower away from the cars, it bunches them up. I mean, think of the 550 package on 1.5 miles, right? What did it do? Lower the horsepower, big drag, bunches them up. That's the same thing. We bunched them up. And I think what ended up happening is that with that low horsepower, the only way you could run was basically you got to be 2 inches off the guy in front of you. And then when you're going down the straightaway, hell, you better matter to the floor and be pushing the crap out of the guy in front of you. Otherwise, your line stalled out.
Right.
So, yeah, it put on some pretty entertaining racing. I give you that. It definitely was a very entertaining race. But I'm not a big fan of taking some of the fate of the drivers out of the drivers' hands. And that was the one thing I liked about when we had the bigger horsepower, is that guys could control their runs a little bit better. The problem was is that they were getting such big runs that block, block, block. Well, guess what? They were getting big, did the same thing on Saturday night. Oh, run's coming, block, block, block. And what happened? We wadded them up. Block, block, block. What happened? We wadded them up. And that's restrictor plate racing.
I think you boil it back down to, the one block that cost, basically Matty D's chance. That was all on Chase Elliott. He was blocking.
It was a bad block.
Right.
It was a bad block.
It was too early for that block, right?
Yeah.
And then you had the one block on. I don't really want to call it a block. It was a checkup, and then of course Wreckhouse just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Of course, that did take out William Byron. I know that one stung a little bit.
Well, our chat. I think if we had a view of the chat of what I wrote, Willie, I was cracking him up quite a bit with what I was saying about Wreckhouse. So,
yeah, it is the I don't know, Stenhouse. He ain't got a good reputation at speedways.
Nope, because he's overly aggressive. That's why.
Right.
That's why. I mean, but you know what? I mean, I'm going to be brutally honest, and you people can agree or disagree, but the smartest thing that JTG Geordie could do would be get rid of the stupid 37 car, punt Stenhouse's ass to the curb, and put Ryan Preece in that car. Put all the money and the resources and everything into one car with Ryan Preece, and I bet you he win you a race.
Yep. They only got one charter to begin with.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The crew chief of the 37 was on with SiriusXM. I reckon they already have races sold for the 37 and the 47, both to be on track next year. Now, whether they get a charter, I don't think they get a charter. I don't know what the money deal is with the charter. I don't understand what the money deal is. If it's a lot more money racing with a charter than without a charter, then I could see the point. But if it's not, and all you're gonna do is qualify your way in, I'm down for that. Okay, let's not race with a charter, because every race next year will have practice and qualifying. Every race will have practice qualifying, because they have to test these cars. Now they're not going to be able to hit every track with these cars before next year.
The one thing could be, though, is that one charter that Rick Ware has in play that NASCAR could pull. There is one charter this year that the NASCAR could pull that Rick Ware has right now. I don't remember which one it is, but there's one they could pull.
The 51.
And if they pull the charter off the 51, if they decide to do that,
37 gets it.
37 gets it, because he's the highest open car in points.
But do you really think they do that? I don't think they do it. I just think they tell Richard, hey, you've got to sell that charter. You're selling that charter. You're not leasing it. You're selling that charter.
Yeah. I don't know how they're going to do it. But anyway, we got so much other stuff to get to.
Yep.
We're going to have to drop the charter thing for another. That'll be silly season.
All right. Here's the playoff preview. I'm going to pop the schedule up first. This is the schedule. Okay. You have the round of 16, which is Darlington, Richmond, Bristol. That's your first round. Brutal. Darlington's brutal. Okay. Then you have Vegas, Talladega, Roval.
That is the hell round.
That's the survival round. Okay?
That's the hell round. Yep.
And then you have, which to me, honestly, I would switch round 12 and round 8, because
you're
listen, Listen
Oh
to
man,
me.
you're a mean SOB, aren't you?
But no, listen to me. Once they get to round of 8, you're gonna have guys start to shine because two out of the 3 are in the same package.
Yes.
So is it the 750 package? No, it's the 550 package.
550 at Texas and Kansas, and
Right.
then
So you
750 at Martinsville.
so you got the 550 package. Okay. You already know who's going to shine if they make it there.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying switch the 12 and the 8 and stuff. But that's here's the standings so far. So you have what surprises me is you have and let me pull that down real quick. Okay, you got Kevin Harvick at the guy won what 8 races last year? What did he win?
8 races.
8 races, and he's
Or
not
9.
even.
Oh, it might have been 9. Might have been 9 last year.
He
Yeah.
won 9. He won 9, and Hamlin won 8.
That's right. Yep. You got it
Okay,
right.
neither one of them's got to win.
Nope.
Neither one of them. Okay, now Hamlin has got a lot of stage points.
Well, he also finished second in the regular season. So he had 5 stage points this year, but
Okay,
then he got 10 points for regular season finishing second
I
overall.
thought the winner only got regular.
Nope. Winner gets 15. That's why Kyle Larson right now, when you look at the rest of the field,
Yep.
I mean,
But that didn't point. I'm gonna tell you something. Let's backtrack to 2020. They don't mean nothing.
It ain't written in stone, but I'll tell you this much: with that many points, you just about can pencil them in at least to the 8. May not get past the 8, but you definitely can pencil them into the 8.
Harvick had what?
Actually, no,
40.
Pen him into the 8. I'd pen him into the 8. If you people were thinking, pen him into the 8. Pencil, you might have to use pencil for the 4, but you can pen him into the 8.
Okay, but Kevin Harvick had what did he have last year? 42 points.
Yeah, but he got into the 8, right? He was in the 8, and then he had a disastrous round of 8, and that's why he couldn't overcome. Like his points total wasn't enough to overcome them having such a disastrous round of 8.
All right. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first round?
Well, I can go first round if you want.
All right, here we go.
All righty. So my first round, you see it down here, we got all round of 16. So round of 12, Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, Joey Logano, Rowdy Busch, Willie B, Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Bad Brad, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch, and last but not least, Kevin Harvick.
So you basically left off everybody that is basically everybody's thinking it's not going to make the round of 12.
Pretty much. Now, here's my reasoning, okay? There's reasoning behind what I've done here. Christopher Bell has never been part of a playoff round in Cup Series.
No.
Okay? Other reason I'm leaving Christopher Bell off, these are all 750 tracks, and Bristol for him is like, I mean, they call it Thunder Valley. For him, it's like Hell Tour. He has not finished well at Bristol. Whether it's of his own making or not, he has not finished well at Bristol. Michael McDowell has not shown me enough. He was promising at the beginning of the season, but he hasn't shown me enough that he is going to survive those 3 races. Tyler Reddick is the same thing. And the reason I'm putting Tyler Reddick there is there's a possibility that he could get in, but I think the problem with Reddick is it's that lack of experience in the playoff format that's going to hurt him. And then Eric Almirola, congratulations. You won New Hampshire, and basically you hadn't shown nothing the rest of the season. Even after New Hampshire, you ain't run worth a damn. So unless you're going to pull a Tony Stewart from 2011, you ain't making it out of the round of 16.
All right. That's your round. All right. Here we go. I think it's obvious you got to put Kyle Larson in there. I think you got to put Blaney. I think you got to put Bowman. I think you got to put Kyle, Brad, Denny, Byron, Chase. Let's see, Martin. Here's where I'm troubled with. Okay, I think you're gonna put Kurt there. Okay, and stuff. But these are my trouble drivers. One is that one right there. I think we have a.
Oh, why are you going to piss off John and Michael right off the bat?
But
Oh,
here's my
Jesus.
reason. Here's my reason. He is struggling awfully right now. Okay. All right. Here's my surprise pick. There you go. I really think he's one. He's 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 got a little momentum getting into it, and I think RCR will put all resources behind him.
Oh, yeah, they're going to. You know that.
Okay. Andy Petrie has got something to say about it. So I really think that 8 car will at least make the round of 12. Now, my final driver and stuff is going to surprise you. It's not Michael McDowell, okay? But I think Kevin Harvick's going to do it.
Yeah, your reasoning is probably the same as mine.
I think the experience pays off.
Yeah.
Okay, but I did leave Joey out and put Tyler in. I think
Wow. Logano out in the round of 16. Oh, damn. Well, I guarantee John Fowler is not going to be sending you any Christmas cards this year.
probably not. Probably not. Probably not. But that is my reasoning. I mean, I think that, one, you make a spotter change in right there before the playoffs. Okay. One, you did it right for Daytona, and they didn't run. Him and TJ Majors run excellent at plate tracks.
Yeah.
Okay. TJ Majors is a blocking machine. He knows where to stop runs. Okay. Now he did get Austin Dillon wrecked, telling Brad, hey, get down there, get down there, get down there, But that is mine. Now we move to the round of 8. And it is your turn.
All right. So, round of 8. Now, this was a little bit painful because, again, this is that round that's got the Roval, it's got Talladega, and it's got Vegas in it. So, Vegas and the points totals, as far as I'm concerned, basically, like I said, Penn, Larson in there. Chase, hard to bet against him, probably winning the Roval. That's, one of them things. Kyle's been running relatively consistent all summer. They've had a couple bad finishes there, but it's none of their own doing. Blaney right now is on a hot streak, and you can never count him out at Talladega. I think Keselowski gets past. Again, it's the experience, I think, that's going to do that. Truex is going to get in, I think, as well, because I think it's going to be that experience, plus the fact that I think he's going to run well at Vegas and the Roval. Talladega, again, bit of a wild card. And this is where I started getting chest pains, was in this area. Because this is where I'm not 100% sure how this is going to go. So the first guy that I'm going to put in there is going to be Denny Hamlin, because I think those tracks suit Denny Hamlin quite well.
Down to one.
And then we're down to one. And I hate to say it, I'm putting Joey Logano in.
Wow. Whoa.
I am eliminating the 24, the 1, the 4, and the 48.
Wow. you really pulling your boy out after the round of 12?
I am pulling my boy out, and trust me, it breaks my heart that I pulled him out. And it was between him and Denny.
Wow.
It was between him and Denny, and the problem is that they are basically almost identical in points. William this year has not got a finish on a road course, basically higher than about other than I think the Glen. I think other than that, he's basically finished in the 30s at every road course. They are on an extremely streaky moment right now where they're running really good and they're not finishing and getting a bad finish, or they're getting a top 5. That concerns me. I don't like the fact that we're running well, but we're not getting the finishes with it. Kurt Busch, I don't think there's going to be enough steam for him to get over that hump of the round of 12. I just don't see it. And it's the same thing with Kevin Harvick. These tracks in this round are probably going to be Kevin Harvick's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Because the Fords on the 550 tracks, unless they find something here that we don't know about, I mean, I know Blaney won Michigan, but they're running like 10th. Like they've got 10th place cars. They don't have winning cars.
So round of 12 tracks are Talladega, Roval, and
Right.
what's the other one?
Vegas. And that's the reason I also pulled a 3-time winner this year. Alex Bowman is on an extreme cold streak, and I do not see him getting out of the round of 12.
All right.
And trust me, Byron fans, me included, I hope William proves me wrong. I really, really do. But I just don't see him getting out of that round. I just don't. Not with the way they've been running.
All right. We're going to move on to mine. Okay. Yeah, you got to pencil him in. Let's go ahead and mark that off the list. I'm going to tell you something. That one's going into my 8. Okay. One, I think he's going to excel at Vegas. Okay. And he's really good at road courses. He might be on a dry spell, but he's really good at road courses. I'm just on the Brad K bandwagon just at the moment. Okay. Chase with the Roval, it's hard. The only way he don't make it is if he struggles the first 2 races, right? I think that's your winner of Vegas.
Ooh.
I really do. I think that's your winner at Vegas. Home track and stuff. Blaney. I think Blaney does good. So that brings me down to 6. This is where it got tough. Okay. I'm going to put Rowdy in, but I think he's probably the last guy that gets in. I don't think him and Ben Bayshore is clicking real good. And my last guy to get in and stuff, I think it's Martin Truex. So I'm leaving out Denny. I don't think Denny can. I don't think Denny is going to be able to point his way, especially with Talladega. Right? He's really good. He's really good at Super Speedway, but I don't think he's going to be able to point his way in. I really think this is a round he's going to struggle. I almost put him into the round 8 because I really think that he's going to be really good because they're going to bring real trimmed out cars to Vegas. So
Oh yeah.
he's going to run out front. When you go to Vegas, you can see, look what they did to Austin Dillon. They trimmed him out so he was flying.
Yeah.
So I really struggle with him. I really want this guy to do real well. I really do. But I I think he's got one more year in him, and I think he's done. And he might surprise us all and go out this year. I
You
mean,
know,
it it,
it,
it it wouldn't
it
surprise me.
again, it's the same thing a little bit with Kevin Harvick. I mean, he's showing me more than Almirola is. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's the same thing. It boils down to if he comes out first race Darlington, which he definitely could do because Darlington's a good track. The Fords are decent at the 750 package track. He could go out there and win it. And I think if Kevin Harvick gets the ball rolling,
He could
he
bring
could
a
go
lot of
all the way.
steam.
He
Yeah.
can bring a lot of steam. Once that ball's rolling, it's going to get hard to stop him. So,
All right, we down to the championship 4.
okay. So, my championship 4 are going to be, and this is going to be definite. Kyle Larson, as far as I'm concerned, because we got two 550 tracks in there and the point total that he has, unless they fall off the face of the earth, with how they've been running on 550 tracks, plus the fact that he's got a 25-point lead over second right now. I think it is a 25 or 27 already on second place. He's got half a race lead on the next highest point guy.
Kevin
I
Harvick
mean,
did too. He had a
right.
whole race going into Martinsville.
But the thing is that unless the wheels completely fall off this, he's getting into the championship 4. I also believe strongly Chase Elliott is probably going to get himself into that championship 4. And the reason I'm saying that is probably Martinsville. Because they are going to bring a car to Martinsville, and he is fantastic at Martinsville when he is under pressure.
Hey, I'll be there.
I
Me,
know you will be.
me be there.
My third guy going into the championship 4 will be a Ford, Ryan Blaney. I think Ryan Blaney could get himself in there because you know what? I think that they're going to show some speed at the 550 tracks. He's not terrible at Martinsville. He's not great, but I think that, you know what? And he's got 3 wins on the season, which puts him in a high point total. Now, my other guy is going to be Kyle Busch.
Mm.
Kyle Busch is going to get into the championship 4. He has been running way too consistently this summer. They have been picking up steam. I know they had a wreck at, I think they wreck at Loudon with the rain.
Yeah.
And then Daytona, he got caught up in that mess. But the 18 car has shown speed just about every week. And I strongly believe that he will be in the championship 4 because the way that the season is lining up for the 18 car right now is running very similar to what happened in 2015. Very similar how that 18 car is running this year compared to 2015.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll get you back on there for your championship pick. Um, my first guy, yeah, you're probably going to put him. I'm putting him in, right? Now I do have 3 Hendrick in the final 8. Okay. Uh, I think you're going to put Brad K in there.
Oh, you're crazy. Holy, how he hasn't shown nothing. I mean, he's getting 8. Okay, I can't see championship 4.
Yeah, I'm putting him. I'm putting him in. I'm putting him in. I
This is a
really,
late. This is also a lame duck season for him. Just FYI.
I think I put him in. All right.
Oh boy, can't wait to hear this reasoning.
I'm putting him in because he has the speed to do it and he has the experience at these tracks to do it. Now, the honest question is, does Roger give him the cars to do it?
That's what I mean.
But because I'm waiting to hear if Roger is going to team up with Roush or they're going their separate ways. You know, they're both in the Ford camp, but are they in the opposite ends of Ford camp?
Well, my own personal opinion is right now you've probably got the 22 and the 2 backwards, but that's my opinion.
No. My third guy in there, Blaney. That's my third guy. This guy that I'm going with next was a hard decision. Okay. And stuff. But, you know, I really think that this round will be good for him. And I think he's really going to go out in style. And that's Kurt Busch. Let me tell you why. Is they've shown speeds and he's running top 10 consistently. He's running up front consistently. He's not winning, he's just running up front.
So let me get this straight.
Yep.
You are eliminating
Yep.
the 24, the 9,
Yes.
the 18, and the 19 in the round of 8.
That 19 got lucky he got in this round.
Holy, I don't know what the hell you're smoking, but I want some of it.
I could send it up to the border. I don't know if it get past the border, but I can get it up to the border. Okay. I struggled a little bit with this one or that one. It's going to be one of them two. Okay. But I mean, Chase is going to be fast. Don't get me wrong. Chase is going to be extremely fast in the round of 8. But that Chip ain't got nothing to lose. He wants to go out a winner. You know he wants to go out a winner.
Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, I would not put him in there if I didn't see the speed that they're putting in the cars because they're leaving it all on the table. You know, now that might be a mistake with him already going to Toyota. You know, so I don't know, but that's my crazy pick. I know it's crazy, but it is. All right.
Wow.
Go ahead and slide your number 5 in the championship. I already know where it's going.
All right. So 2015. Painful year for me. Extremely painful year for me.
Last year, Gordon.
Wins Martinsville on my birthday, November 1st, 2015. Never forget it. And I took every credit card that I had and got me a flight and tickets and hotel, and I went down to Homestead and watched that race. I made sure that I saw my guy go for his last championship, and I wasn't sure he was going to do it because they had struggled a mile and a half all year.
Right.
And the guy that won that race, as far as I'm concerned, came out of nowhere because he hadn't won a race in the chase at that point. He hadn't won a race in the chase all year. And he showed up to Homestead and put a clinic on. And he's won at Phoenix before. I said the stars are aligning. And God, this pains me more than anything else. Kyle Busch will be your 2021 champion.
Go ahead and put him up there.
I can't. Won't let me drag him. Oh, never mind. There he goes. Kyle Busch will be your 2021 champion. I have a feeling about it. I don't know why. But I'm telling you guys, 2015, when he broke his foot and he was gone for, what was it, 9 races, whatever it was that he was out.
Yeah, he didn't come back till after Memorial Day.
Right.
I'm thinking his first race back was right before
600, I
Sonoma.
think. I think it was a 600.
Was it?
I think it was a 600. I
Because
believe.
I know the next race was Sonoma, and
Yeah,
he
I think
won. He
I
won
think it
Sonoma.
was. Yeah, and here's my reasoning behind it. Okay, when I look at what Kyle Busch did in 2015, the stars are aligning very similar. I know he has a different crew chief, but Adam Stevens, if I'm not mistaken, was a brand new crew chief for him in 2015.
Yes, that was the first year of Stevens because
Right.
he had who was that guy he worked with his brother. I can't think of the guy's name.
And and I and the thing is that they went out and they won, I think it was 3 or 4 races kind of early.
Right. It cooled off. Like he cooled off.
And then he kind of just ran consistent. And the thing to me is that this season to me is lining up very similar to 2015, and I just get this feeling that he is going to win the championship this year.
Mr. Michael saw your little post there, boss.
Yeah, I know. I know. Hey, I'll put it this way. If Josh Ray is watching, he's bouncing up and down and I don't know, doing twirls or whatever, because I picked Kyle Busch to win the championship and put William Byron out in the round of 12. So I don't
Michael,
know
you might
what
want to
I'm
hold
thinking.
on. Yeah, you might want to hold on because I'm about to show you mine. Bam. That was mine. Joe Logano didn't even make it out of the round of 16. But, you know, this was a hard decision, even with the 4 that I have. Okay. One, I think this guy's going to have speed, but he's not going to have enough speed. Okay. That guy's going to have speed, but I don't think they really do. Phoenix ain't his racetrack, right? You remember what happened last year when the one Chevrolet pulled to the racetrack?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's your champion. I think Kyle Larson's going to be a Chase Elliott. He's going to show up to the racetrack, uh, and he's going to show up to the racetrack and just dominate. He's just going to dominate. And I really want this guy to win it because I think they've got the. I think they're building a team, but I don't think they're going to give them the cars. So that is my champion. Um, but I'm doubting myself because of what Kyle Larson's done this year, and I don't know if he can stay so hot and finish a year out like that. Look what Kevin Harvick did. Look what Denny Hamlin did.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Uh, but you know, Chase could possibly get into that Final Four by winning Martinsville.
Oh yeah.
But him and Allen are kind of butting heads a little bit. You know, I don't know if you heard it on the radio, but they disagreed on some calls uh, 2 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah. I
You
know.
know, so you know, I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Yours.
Well, I mean, come on. You took the cheap way out. Let's be honest. You took the cheap way out.
I'm not taking it. I mean, he was fast.
Well, I know he's fast. The problem the problem I'm having with Kyle Larson is where the championship 4 race is.
Yeah.
That's what's got me worried about Kyle Larson is it's got nothing. Like, listen, I'm going to be brutally honest here. If that race was at Texas, this
It'd
is a
be
no-brainer.
yeah.
This is a no-brainer, right? If it's at Texas, if it was at Homestead, if it was at a 550 track, I mean, how do you bet against Kyle Larson? The problem I have is Phoenix is not, I mean, he's good there, but I don't think it's his strongest racetrack. And I just feel that he's going to do okay. But let's also remember Kyle Larson has never made that. I don't think he's ever made the round of 8 in the playoffs.
No.
I think he's made the round of 12, but he hasn't made the round of 8.
He's made the playoffs once.
And not only that, but his team, we all know it's the old 48 team. That was Jimmy Johnson's old team. And the last time that they made a deep run into the championship, Cliff Daniels was not the crew chief. Chad Knaus was the crew chief.
Which is now the competition director.
I think they're going to make a really strong push, but the problem is at the championship 4, I think Kyle Busch is going to have an edge at Phoenix, is what I feel is going to happen. Now, if I wanted to do how I want things to come out, that 24 car is not going to be exactly where that 18 car is. It ain't going to be freaking down in the eliminated at the round of 12. But the problem I have is, and I'm going to be honest here, guys, and this kills me. I'm not even convinced that the 24 may not make it out of the round of 16.
He's making it out around 16.
I'm not sure. And there's reasons I say that I'm not sure. They had a really good run at Darlington in the spring this year. And so I'm thinking, all right, you know what? I think that's going to translate. I think that's going to pay off for them. Do I think he's going to win? Listen, the 24 has not shown enough speed to me compared to his teammates that he's going to win.
I think he's going to run up. I think he's going to run up front at the road.
He's going to run up front. He's going to run up front, I think, at Richmond because, again, him and Fugel went to Richmond this year. They finished 8th in the first race. I think that's going to bode well for them at Richmond. I think that they'll bring a good car. Where I'm concerned is Bristol because Willie B's track record at Bristol is atrocious. And got to remember, we have not been to Bristol with the Rudy Fugel, William Byron combination. We have been to Bristol dirt,
right?
But we have not been to Bristol,
right?
So if he has and the problem is he doesn't have a big enough points gap, in my opinion, that if he tanks Bristol like he has the last couple of years, I think he still gets into the round of 12. But the problem is I think when he gets into the round of 12, he's that squeaker, right? He's that guy that's going to squeak into the round of 12. And the problem is you're going in. You do not want to be that car that squeaks into the round of 12 going into that round. You don't want to be the guy that's the squeaker because it's one of two things. It's either going to go really good for you or it's going to go really bad because at the end of the day, those 3 tracks, you better be balls to the wall.
Yep. I agree.
You're going to have to, you know what? You're going to have to set the car. You're going to have to, Talladega. No, you're not running in the back. You better keep that car up front all day, do not get that car into the back. You know what? I know that a lot of the wrecks lately, everybody says, the wrecks never happen in the top 5. Hell, almost all of the wrecks have happened with the leader in the last, I don't know how many.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference between Daytona and Talladega. Daytona, they wanted to basically, you had some that wanted to ride in the back. At Talladega, you can't ride in the back because you got to go for every stage point.
That's right. And I just think the guys that squeak into the round of 12 at Talladega, basically, there is only one plan.
You got to go out and win.
You got to go out and win. Like, you got to be the guy that goes out there and wins that race.
Okay, here is. All right, we'll pop it up real quick. You have 52 points is what the advantage that Larson's got. If he wins or in win stages,
It goes up.
he just grows that,
Mhm.
right? So, and Denny Hamlin is second in points. Second in points, regular season points, and he's seventh with 215. Okay. Yep. So the round of 12 right now is right there. You have Michael McDowell sitting in 12th. Then you got the rest of them down here. Okay. Kurt Busch, Brad Kay, Joey Logano, they're still, that's 1 or 2 points that it leapfrogs.
Right. Now, see, here's where a lot of my strategy came into play, okay? Like, if we're going to call this strategy, here's where a lot of my strategy come into play for my picks. When you look at 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, okay? 15th and 16th do not have a win. That's why they have less than 5 points. The 10, the 20, and the 34 only have 5 playoff points, which means that's only the 5 playoff points they got for winning that race.
Yes.
They have not won a stage in 26 races. They have not won one stage. They've won races, but they have not won stages. That's, to me, why I eliminated who I did when I did, because, like, listen, the 34, the 20, and the 10 are not showing me enough. Reddick is going to me, that last spot is going to be a toss-up between Reddick and Harvick.
I really think that Reddick points his way in to the round of 12. Let me tell you why. Because he has stage wins.
That's right.
They run up front and he grabs stage wins. Okay. They have something that a lot of people don't know is they have 6 or 7 engineers in a room back in, Welcome, North Carolina, that is making the race calls.
Yep.
That crew chief is sitting on the box and they're basically telling him what to do. Now, Richard Childress is not there no more, but he was a big component in making them decisions as well with the race engineers. Austin Dillon's crew chief went against the command center at Michigan when he come in and pitted.
Yeah.
They didn't want him to pit. They wanted him to go fuel only when he come in and pit, fuel only. He put 4 brand new ones on. He come from 16th up to leading because he put new tires on. So, that might be an advantage. I think Eric Almirola's a sitting duck.
Oh, like I said, they better show me something in the first race. You know what? Forget the other 2 races. Those guys had better show me something in Darlington.
Yeah.
They better show me something in Darlington that makes me go, maybe they got a chance. You know what? Do you remember what happened to them in Darlington in the spring?
Didn't he wreck?
I don't think he even got sweaty in his fire suit before the front end of his car was shortened up 3 feet.
Right. Wasn't it lap 1, wasn't it?
It was really early in the race.
It hit the inside wall?
Hit the inside wall.
Yeah.
And the problem is it's like, listen, that was a whole bunch of laps at Darlington that they didn't get compared to the rest of the field.
I won't be honest with you. If I was NASCAR, I would run a different package for the Darlington race than I did in the spring.
So you're saying bring the 550 package back to Darlington for the spring?
Bring the 550. If you're running 750 in the spring, run 550 in the fall.
Yeah.
Because now you look at all the notes that these teams has got. That's why I don't think none of these 10 races in the championship should have a second race date.
Well, let's be honest. There are some that don't. Okay. Texas is a bit of a because they got the All-Star race, but technically we have not run a 500-mile race at Texas this year.
But Texas didn't have that package.
Yeah, they had a 510 package, I think it was.
Yeah, that package that had the air ducts.
Well, anyway, but Texas is kind of like, okay, that one's a little bit different. We know the Roval's different because we haven't run the Roval. Bristol is different because we haven't run Bristol. But we've run Darlington, we've run Richmond, we've run Las Vegas.
Darlington in the daytime.
Was that in the daytime or the nighttime? Can't
No.
remember. Did they run in the day or night? They're on the day, I think.
No, they run the Southern 500 was at night. This race is in the day.
No, this Southern 500 is this weekend. That's a night race. They start in the day and go in the night.
Oh.
This is the race they start in the day and go in the night. Trust me, I've been to enough Southern 500s. I know.
Well, they should have this on Monday. This is my opinion.
Well, we digress, but Darlington, to me, you've got a notebook built at Darlington because really, let's be honest, it eats tire. The pavement has now gotten to the point that it eats tires.
Right.
Now, I did see a post. They have repaved part of turn 2.
Yes, they paved a patch.
They put a patch in turn 2. So that's new pavement in turn 2.
And no practice.
And no practice. I think that's going to throw a curveball at these teams that they weren't expecting. So, but Darlington, Richmond, you've got a notebook. Bristol, well, that could be a bit of a wild card. The next round, we've been at Vegas, right?
Yes.
Talladega is a crapshoot. Doesn't matter what it is. And we haven't been to the Roval. So, that round, you've got a track that you've got some notes at. You've got a track that, well, we'll take $1 million car and either finish first with it or take the steering wheel home. And we've got the Roval, which is the last road course. Which who knows? I mean, we could have a race like we did in the Xfinity Series last year where it was like close to monsoon. But the next round, you've got Kansas. I can't remember. Have we been to Kansas this year? I think we have.
Yeah.
We've been to Kansas. Texas, we were there, but with a different package, and we've been to Martinsville. And then Phoenix, we've been to Phoenix. So there's not really a lot of new variety in there. So
only thing different with Martinsville is it's going to be a lot colder.
Yes.
So the track temps is not going to be as high as what it was in the spring.
But I think it's going to be similar, though, because the spring race now is a night race at Martinsville.
Yeah. So you're still going to have to be 50s, 50 range. The track I think it's going to be
there could get 30s. They could get 30s at Martinsville on October 31st.
Don't talk about that, please. I don't want.
Oh hell! I'd love to see you wearing a toucan gloves and mitts at Martinsville on the 31st. I'd kick myself laughing so hard.
Yeah. The race I'm looking forward to watching is that Bristol race. How different is it going to be with? I know the track is going to, but is it going to be different after they remove the dirt?
Well, it's going to be extremely green. I can't remember. I think the trucks are the first ones on it, if I'm not mistaken.
And they're going to put that pH. That.
Oh yeah, it's going to have a grip strip at the bottom. That they're going to put a grip strip at the bottom.
And the process completely. Once NASCAR's gone for the race, they get prepared to do the dirt all over again.
Yeah. Now, the only thing that they may do different this time at Bristol, which I think is a possibility, is they may not do the PJ1. They may do the resin deal that they've been doing at the bottom.
But that's more stickier.
I don't know. They could do the resin because the drivers, for whatever reason, seem to like the resin better than the PJ1.
The PJ1 wears off real quick. Like it wears off quicker as
at Bristol, it definitely does.
Yeah. But
that's what I hate about Bristol right now is because they put that crap down there, and then they basically all run the very bottom,
right?
And then it goes away, and then we kind of get a little bit of side by side racing, but it's like as it goes away, it kind of goes from like good to crap within like 50 laps, and then they're all ripping the top, right?
Yeah, and that's not Bristol to me. I mean, ripping the top is not Bristol. But you know, I'm excited for the playoffs. I really think it's going to be more competitive playoffs than we've seen in a long time. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
because last
yeah.
year we basically saw two guys. You know, all right, Kevin Harvick, you go take this win. All right, Denny, you got this one. You know, you basically saw them till the playoffs, and then it kind of changed a little bit, but not
But
as much.
the big thing about this year versus last year is last year we had, what was there, 3 guys or something that had just crap tons of playoff points coming in.
Right.
This year we don't have that. We have Larson, who has a crap ton of points.
Yeah.
But
you got
everybody else is kind of like, like to me, Martin Truex, okay, you got 2,024 points. Ryan Blaney, you got 2,024 points. You know what? 24 points is only half a race,
well, that's basically two stages.
right? But that doesn't take long. 50 points is a lot harder to overcome
Yeah.
for these other guys to have to overcome,
So, but like if you're in the bottom half, you're aiming for that 12th spot, right? That's I mean you know if
well,
I'm in the top half, I'm trying to cushion my points. If I'm in the bottom half, we've got to go out and win stages. If that means we've got to run a stage completely out, you know.
if you're in the bottom, let's just say we're going to cut it off right at Denny and William, right? As far as I'm concerned, if you're 8th and below, if that's where you are, your strategy needs to be you got to go for max points. Win stages, win the race. That's what you got. That's what your goals got to
Because
be.
you're going to see at Darlington where you're going to see a lot of short pitting.
Oh yeah.
Like 5, 6, 7 laps to go before the stage ends, you're going to see guys ducking off, getting tired so they can stay out after the stage.
See, Darlington, what fans have to hope for at Darlington. This is what we have to hope to happen.
Tires eat up.
We are going to need cautions. Because if we can get enough cautions, then tire strategy is going to start playing a factor. If this thing goes green, tire strategy is out of the equation because they've got, I don't know how many sets of tires. Those guys have figured it out. If the race goes green, we only have to go 35 or 40 laps on a set of sticker tires. And I guarantee at 40 laps, they're going to be, whoop, way we go into pit road, and they're getting themselves some tires.
So what do you think? They're going to have probably, 7 or 8 sets?
I think they're going to have 10. 10
Really?
to 13. Yeah, because it's a 500-mile race, right? So I think it's going to be 10 to 13 sets.
So this is the longest race. This is the longest race of the playoffs, right?
No, Texas is a 500-mile too.
Okay. What is Talladega?
Talladega is 500 miles. Talladega, Darlington, and Atlanta or Texas are all 500-mile races.
Okay. Well, anyway, before we jump off, I do want to congratulate Matthew for his win on No Toad last night. Very impressive, especially you've got me into running that league. It is a very enduring league. A lot of strategy has to go into that league, into the races. I'm learning I'm learning it as we go. But I mean, congrats, man. Second, was it technically your 4th race in the league, but second official race, and you're drinking champagne and picking up a checker.
Yep.
So
so far with No Toad, I don't have a finish worse than 3rd in any race.
And you are the points leader.
I am the points leader now, which I am tickled pink. Honestly, probably one of the best leagues that I've ever run. Gary Sargent. Yeah. Gary Sargent's the owner of the league, and Sarge is he's a great guy, and it's just a great bunch of guys. I know I probably gonna be giving Slider a little bit of room. He gave me some room. He gave me a little bit of room there to get that win. So I know when it comes to some races here, I'll be making sure I repay the favor to Slider because
That's one thing.
he could have dumped me if he wanted to. So
Well, that's one thing that I kind of realized with these endurance. I would call them endurance races, long races. Is you kind of see how people race throughout the season, who you can cut brakes to, who's going to cut brakes to you, and stuff. You know, we've got 3 road courses coming up in this league. Uh,
yep.
I'm nervous as heck with them. That'll be tracks that I'll be turning lots and lots of laps on. You know, I'm really looking forward to the Iowa because I think I'll do okay at Iowa. Of course, we've got the Bristol Dirt sponsored. Looking forward to that. And I hate them on Miss Langley. I hate I'm going to Miss Langley. I'm not going to be able to. My flight don't get back until right around midnight, so I won't be pulling in about midnight.
Well, I can tell you this much: we've got the Bristol Dirt Race sponsored for sure. I'll tell you this though, you're going to be needing to make sure that you drink plenty of fluids and get yourself well hydrated before that race because, guys, we are doing a 200 lap race at Bristol Dirt.
Say again.
200 laps.
Wait, the Cup Series only ran 250.
Yeah,
Ain't we supposed to do half?
We're doing 200 laps on the dirt at Bristol.
Good God.
So I'm gonna be making sure I'm drinking lots of water before that race because you are gonna be working your tail off.
I'm gonna set me up a drink dispenser where I can just have a straw in my mouth. Have something with a long straw.
Well, you better show up too because we're sponsoring the race. So we need a good showing here out of the Mid South. So
yeah, I've got to get with Alex about getting me a paint scheme made up. I'm running a Chevrolet paint scheme, so we're gonna get us a paint scheme made up for that. And then got to get me an Oculus cord because my Oculus is messed up a little bit. I felt like I was running decent last night. Running back in the 20th to 25th. I was running decent. I was where I wanted to be, right? Of course, I had Michael back there. He was spotting for me. I was, you heard me over. I wanted to be in that bubble where I had plenty of room. I got caught up early in that wreck where a guy got loose and he kind of, he checked up. By the time I barely touched the brakes, it hooked. It hooked left or it hooked right, and it put me in the wall. I had to use my fast prepare, and then my Oculus blacked out. But we'll get all that stuff fixed up, and then got Iowa in 2 weeks.
yep.
I think I might if I can get the Oculus work, I might run their outlaw league and stuff. I like to get Gary on the show. Talk a little bit.
That'd be good.
Talk about his league. I might reach out to him about seeing. Also, for the people that's going to go back and watch it, give you a little bit about the Willie Short Track Tour. I've been putting tracks together, and I don't think I'm going to be able to hit the 50. Don't think that's going to happen. I've come up with a big list, and I am only at 26. So 30 is going to be probably the number that I'm going to try to hit. So that's going to be the number that we're going to be shooting for. If we get over, great. If we hit under, that's okay too. But I think it's going to be neat. I'm going to learn how to do some video editing. So when I take some videos, I'll basically make them into short videos and stuff like that. But you want to add anything else, Matt, before you hop off here?
Well, the biggest thing, guys, is that if anybody's listening and they would like to watch No Toad, I'm telling you, it was some pretty good racing. Go like No Toad Racing League on YouTube and click that notification button. And we usually race, 8:30 Central, I think it is race start time.
8:30.
So,
8:30 Central. The race usually lasts about 90 minutes.
Yep.
But it's an action packed 90 minutes. It's not a riding around 90 minutes. Had 35 cars show up last night, and it was wild. It was fun. It was wild. I enjoyed it. Like Matt said, it's probably the funnest league that I've ever ran. And what did we go, like 20 laps without a caution? I mean, I thought we went. Oh, when I hopped off there, we went 19,
So
15.
caution come out at about lap 30 for a wreck. It was a 130 lap race. Well, after that lap 30 caution, it went green the whole way. So we had a 100 lap run of green flag racing.
Wow, that's amazing with all the cars. Now there is some caution yellow problems. I think iRacing has.
Yeah.
Of course, the wreck I had probably should have called a caution because I was there was cars behind me. There was a wreck with Rafter that probably could have caused like 7 cars in the infield.
There was a pile up on the restart of the caution at lap 30. There was a couple guys on old tires, and yeah, that to me, but at the end of the day, the league administration, I mean, that's one thing. Their rules have been very clear, and they basically said iRacing controls the cautions. We are not doing it. And you know what? It just, iRacing should have thrown the caution, but when they say iRacing throws the cautions, that's it. They're not throwing an admin caution. So
they're fair. I mean, they're absolutely fair. With penalties and all that, they're fair as it could be. Ain't no complaints with it, and I enjoyed it. But guys, we're gonna shoot for next. Let's see, we're not gonna shoot for next week. If it is, it'll be maybe a tape delay show or something like that because we got Labor Day. So I don't think we're going to shoot for next week, but I think we will be back for what is the second race of the playoffs.
We will definitely be back for the Richmond. Before Richmond, we'll be back. And I can guarantee if we're not back before Bristol, we will be doing another War Room segment. Maybe reevaluating our lineups there before the next round starts at Vegas.
Yeah, I think let's shoot for the 13th. I think the 13th will be a good day. That'll be after Richmond. That'll kind of assess the playoff deal, and we'll go from there. Bristol's going to be interesting. That's one race I think I'm looking forward to, and stuff. But all right, I think we're going to hop off here. Appreciate everybody watching. Everybody goes back to watch, and we'll see you on the 13th.
Yeah, have a good night, guys. See you later.
See ya.